Morning, guys. How's it going? Good to see you all, or at least when they arrive, notifying viewers that we are live. So basically, yeah, what was going on yesterday? Well, total day on the phone for me yesterday. I literally never moved from it. I did about 50 or 60 calls. Um, we're looking to basically take our business to another step. Um, at the moment, and that's what we're kind of focused on as far as getting the volume up. And the way to do that is to increase the volume of the people that we speak to. Of course, we basically um, work on the premise, which is obviously no big secret, that the more you're doing, the more you're actually doing, the more chances you are at goal, if you like, or of getting something that works. So, yeah, yesterday was spent on the phone the whole day. I mean, usually I do various different things, but right now it's just a real phone time as far as connecting with a lot of new agents and pitching some new products as far as what we're actually looking for various investors that we're working with and things like that. So from PD to commercial, basically. Interesting points being raised about PD. I had a great chat with somebody the other day who is he can buy blocks of flats, massive portfolio, all the rest of it. However, the main point being is viewing PD as far as turning offices into um, residential accommodation. A little bit concerned with it, a little bit wary of it. Didn't really want to. Said he wasn't interested in investing in it. Basically, coming up from the premise that sometimes there's potential risk of getting a little bit like Frankenstein buildings going on there, that certain people don't want to live in, or certain people don't want to buy. And so I thought that was interesting. I think it's certainly something to bear in mind as far as keeping those buildings looking as residential as possible, I suppose, and making sure that they do uh, hit the mark as far as windows are concerned and makeup of rooms, etc. And not all can have beautiful stone arches like Docklands, London, and things like that in a lot of places, or any city for that matter. And so, yeah, it spans quite a range of what we're seeing being turned into residential properties from using the PD thing from offices into residential. So that was interesting. It was very interesting to see what the big money thought of it, and that's kind of where they were at as far as that was concerned. So not something that'll be bothering Andrew and Ranjan, I don't suppose. I suppose the secret would definitely be to purchase this product at a price where it just turns into an amazing rental unit for you. So build to rent scenario, and certainly don't pay over the odds for it. More than once I heard yesterday that what was once a third of the cost of your building, when the cost of the building or the cost of the whatever you're going to build on the land or whatever was once a third, now it's more like a fifth. So I thought, oh, that hurts a bit, doesn't it? So vendors out there, I wonder what you can be doing to help that, or certainly thinking about it as far as when you're planning on these things, or just what you're expecting to get for your properties. Unfortunately, it would appear that that is starting to sink through to the market. Certainly, like I said, I'm hearing it a lot more. We've known that we're struggling to pay a third for things for a long time now. So maybe gone down to a quarter, but like I said, now I'm hearing a fifth mentioned, simply because of the uncertainty with building costs, etc., and all that kind of thing. So there you have it. Um, so we're very busy um, with our social media as well. as you can see, I'm right here doing this at this time of morning. I was asked the other day what inspires us to do this. Why do we work so hard at it? Why would you spend all day just picking up the phone? Well, it's very simple. You got to do your thing in life, haven't you? But the big thing that brought us into this was when we were in service accommodation, and then from there we were in hospitality. So we're very much into doing a fantastic job for whatever we do. Our main goal, my business partner and I, were many years in hospitality, and so in hospitality, if you're doing it right, or you're with good people like we both were, working with good companies, and then ourselves, myself previous, is all about doing a fantastic job for your customer. Now, that is something that we're very much all about. We are big on delivery, and as years go by and you get a little bit wiser as to what's going on and how business works and how life works and everything, we've then realized actually that business tends to find a level to which people will accept and buy a certain product and then make sure it delivers no more, finds a sweet spot where it can keep taking money, and that's where it makes its margin. So we see this in practice when we see chain restaurants, many of them, providing a mediocre product to a public that wants convenience, a little bit of pizzazz, and will basically, in this day and age, kind of just follow their kids wherever their kids demand to go. And so if they've got multicolored sofas and an espresso that looks like a puddle, forgive my Italian colloquialism there, then that's what happens. And so we see this in practice when we also look, for instance, at own brand supermarket products. I don't know if anybody's ever tasted wine from Tesco or Sainsbury's, for instance. I maybe shouldn't even be saying that. Maybe I should say, I'll take that back. Let's just say certain supermarkets. I can't imagine they've got their legal team watching us here right now. Anyways, let's imagine you tasting wine from there. Often you can literally taste ounce for ounce the flavour that they're allowing you to get for your 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds worth of wine. And it is just insipid, stripped, very, very uninspiring, unexciting wine so often with very little flavour or structure, and that's because it's measured upon what it believes that it can get away with selling to the general public and what they will purchase. And so that's how that goes there. On the flip side, on a more positive note, coming out of the pandemic, for instance, we can think about people in hospitality certainly that have booked that trend and decided they're going all out on the customer facing efforts. And one that we can very happily talk about is Citizen M. We find ourselves staying there, being there quite a bit, and they absolutely do have a big welcome with their people consistently over many units. And they are making people feel welcome, relaxed. They've got great buildings and all the rest of it, but that alone does not do the job. If you can't get a cup of tea, or you just feel like you just can't even find any people around, they've got plenty of people around. They obviously invest in that. They obviously realize the benefit of it. They're training them up. They must have very efficient HR and people managing skills, and it stands out. After the pandemic, Citizen M is one of the very few places where you get a great experience. You get an absolutely fantastic experience. Another place that we use, for instance, that I would also put that down as, the Wheatsheaf, for instance, in Tooting Bec. Absolutely stunning, professional, excellent pub, excellent product, and a wonderful, wonderful staff. Just very happy. box standard, simple, professional service, which is absolutely great. It's just efficient and gets on, and it's there for you. It's not rocket science, but it is so difficult to find, and in this day and age, especially. Myself and George, as far as being involved in providing investment properties for people, a big part of us that you've heard us talk about before is the fact that we want people to get a fantastic deal. Not a unicorn deal, not something that's like the best one they ever heard anybody ever talk about on stage or anything like that, but just a really good, solid deal and what we all agreed that was going to be delivered. That way, they feel good about it. Last one was to Jonathan, had an absolutely great experience, and just recently, and he's already telling other people about it because I've had one person call me. So that's a great knock-on effect, but at the same time, it's people like this that are your customers. Get your right customer and then work with the right people who understand the same values and where you're coming from, and what that's all about. Our clientele tend to look for a good margin, safe, secure. Security is a big thing. Very, very big on due diligence. We go through great lengths uh, to get that right, and the questions that they ask are very intelligent, very smart, and that's what we do. And this is part of what is becoming to define our business and our offering and what we're involved with. We don't tell if we don't know something, then we just say it. We'll go away and find that out. We put it on the list for something we'll know for next time, etc. We don't try and say anything. I got this training when I was in wine. You never stand at the table and say, make anything up. You basically just say, I'm really sorry, I'm not actually quite sure about that one. I'm going to go away and find out. And as time goes on, you build your knowledge. Let's be honest, you're being put on the spot, not having to know everything about a subject immediately, just like that, as if you're serving wine or talking about wine in a busy restaurant, is quite daunting sometimes, and you can't remember everything. One thing I find is with age, and honestly, you start forgetting certain stuff, and it's random. It's so random. The amount of times that your mind goes a little bit blank and that type of stuff. So basically, it's just being very upfront, very comfortable. Nobody expects everybody to know everything. So if you just say, let me come back to you on that, let me get that bit of information, it's not a problem. It's no big deal. Relax. So yeah, that's a big part of what we're busy with right now. A little bit there just about what our attitudes and style of doing business is, and a couple of good tips if you need a decent hotel or a fantastic pint down in South London. But anyways, that's basically that. I'm going to get on with this. I will certainly report back how it goes later. Hopefully we'll get more happening today. There's a lot of calls where nothing happens, and you just got to stick at it. That's as simple as that. It's just an automatic thing. You just carry on, do the plod work, get through it, find those wonderful people that you find that you have something in common with as far as what you're trying to do, and hopefully do some business. So I'm going to say cheers for now. Let me have a quick look at this, because I usually am focusing so much on talking and everything that I never really look and seeing what's going on. George usually does that, but at the same time, now I'm doing these lives on my own, impromptu, so to speak. More likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. If that's, oh, that's me saying that, I think. Like the live, thank you very much. Roro, Riz, good morning. How are you doing? Great. And Roro, Riz, I think that's everybody right now that's still here. Great. Have a great time. Speak to you soon, all right? Thank you. Bye now.